Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatepins.com, and in this video today it's another trying to fix video, and this one is a revisit on my son's iPhone 6s. So if you watched the video, then you'll know that the camera's not working on it. I did various different things and it's still not working. So I've had plenty of comments about things I can try, and as well as that I have now got a hold of a damaged iPhone 6s board, so I can take the chip off that. The chips are only a few pound anyway. I was also missing a capacitor as well because that flew off in my attempt to fix it. So I thought I might as well just buy the board because the screen on here is smashed and the phone that I got with the damaged board in, the screen is okay. So rather than getting everything separate, I think it might work out about the same price to get the damaged phone, in which case then I'm going to have other spares to use as well. So just to recap the problem, when I go onto the the rear facing camera, so front facing camera works absolutely fine, as you can see it's up here, but the rear facing camera doesn't work at all. And for younger children that's such a big deal because one of the main things on here is, you know, taking photos of things and doing TikToks and stuff like that. So for my son, he really would like it working, so that's the reason I'm revisiting it. As well as that, the flashlight doesn't work as well, and apparently that's quite a common problem when the camera's not working here, that the flashlight won't work. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking out the tiny little chip out of this one here. From memory it is just up here, and I'm going to try to solder it in to this one here and see what happens. I also need to take out the little capacitor next to it. I'll zoom in so you'll be able to get a better view. At the moment it's covered in kind of like a black plastic thing. And then we'll see if it works. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'll have to go further with the fault finding. But I've had a lot of helpful comments on the last one that I did, so then I can read each of them in detail and try each of them to see if it fixes it. But first things first, I am just going to change the chip over. Now I don't know if this particular one's working. I am assuming it is going to work, but I don't actually know that. So I'm just going to dismantle it. I'm not going to be filming that slowly. I'll just fast forward through all that until I get the board out. Right, okay, I've got the board out, so now let's try and swap these chips over. Okay, so this is the tiny chip that we need to remove, and then also a capacitor next to it. So I think to begin with, I'm just going to remove that now, and then I can worry about getting the ones off the other board. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of flux on it. Just going to use my tweezers because there's a bit, I don't want all that on there. Right, now I'm just going to remove this one. Oh, actually, I forgot to cover up. Let me cover up this here. Well, I've got the temperature at 400 and the airflow is 4 out of 8. Right, that's it off. Now, I'm not going to clean up the pads and stuff because I did that last time. So what I need to do now is I need to try to get this one off here, and also the little capacitor next to it, but the capacitor at the moment is hidden underneath a load of kind of coating. I think is to stop, give it a little bit of water protection, and also I think it's more to do with like shock, so if it drops they don't just bounce off the board. Right, okay, so that's the chip and the capacitor that I have to remove. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do first. They'll probably just both end up coming off at the same time. Now I've got to be very careful because I want the chip to go on in the same I'm going to take it off here and I'm going to put it straight on the board here, so I don't want to swap the chip round. I want to keep it in the correct orientation. This is not wanting to come off, and again my mat's bubbling up again. I'm going to put more flux on it. Got it. I'm just going to carefully now put it in the same way on this one. I can worry about the capacitor in a bit. Right, I'm just going to go with that now, and I can't actually see what's going on at this moment in time. Move into a different part of the mat. Right, now I'm going to put some flux on here. And let's try to get this back in place. I'm going to up the airflow a little bit because I'm struggling. I'm going to go to 5.5 out of 8. I'm going to take off the shield for a minute and just have a little wobble with it. I don't want to melt this connector. Just going to see if it kind of wobbles into place. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. When I wobbled it, it did seem to go back. I'm going to let that cool, and then I'm going to worry about the capacitor afterwards, but just to get the heat out of this mat. Right, okay. I'm not going to clean it up with IPA yet because I need to get the capacitor on. So let's get the capacitor on and then see if it all lines up. But I think it's in the correct place, and it does seem to be stuck. I don't want to put too much force on it. So now let's get this little capacitor off this one here, which is just this tiny little one here. So again, I'm just using a dribble of flux. Use a bit more flux. Got it. Just placing it on the board, the other board in the correct orientation. Don't think it matters on this one though. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Right, I think that's where it needs to go. Okay, let's heat it up and see what happens. Well, that might be done. I'll let it cool and see. Right, while that's cool, I'm just going to get the IPA ready. Okay, well it's not coming off when I clean it, so hopefully it is in place. I'll have a good look now and see if I can make out what's going on. I've just noticed on the other side of this board the covers for these are missing, because when I bought this it had probably already been through quite a few people's hands. Oh, it's a bit crooked, isn't it? And is that capacitor needs to come over? No, I'm not happy with that. Mind you, if it's not touching, I might be okay. Hold on now, let's see. So hard to see when there's flux and everything on it. Okay, the capacitor's a little bit over towards this side here, and also the chip is a little bit over towards this side, but it might be okay. I think I'm going to try it, and then if not, I can take it apart again and just move it all over just a tiny little bit. Yeah, looking through my eyepiece here, it's definitely crooked, but I think they are on the pads. So if they're on the pads and if they're soldered, then apart from the fact it doesn't look very nice, I'm thinking it will hopefully be okay. Got to try another camera as well because the camera had faulty. Yeah, the pins down the bottom was faulty on this one. Phone's weird, it's gone down to 1% on the battery now. I think the battery's playing up as well. First things first, let's see if we can do the flashlight. No! No, so it's not gonna work. No, front facing one works, rear facing one doesn't. Oh, gutted. Gutted about that. Alright, it's gone up to 5% now. It's a phone that self-charges. Right, I'm going to read all the comments and then see if I can find out what else is going on with this. Maybe there's a trace or something that's broken. So let's turn it off again. Not so confident now that I'm going to get this working. Right, I'll get back to this in a bit once I've read all the comments on the previous video. Just going to try to remove the connector on the donor board, just in case it is a problem with the connector. So I'm at airflow 5 out of 8 and 400 degrees C. Right, now I'm going to try to resolder that back onto here. There we go, I think that jumps into place, so I'll leave it there. Right, I'm quite happy with how that's gone on. Yeah, it seems to be in the right place. So I'm going to put it together now and see what it does. Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't dream that would work. Oh, look at it. Yes, unbelievable. It was the connector. And the front one's working. Oh, wow. Oh, what a result. What a result. Oh, sorry to shout. I didn't think that would happen. I just did it because I was mucking about with the fuses and stuff and I was about to give up. Look at it! Let's see if it's zooming. Yes, it is, look! Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Let's try the flashlight. Oh, look at that. Oh, I could cry. I could actually cry. I am so happy. Oh, he's going to be so happy. My son is going to be so happy. Oh, that is just brilliant. Right, I have got to go pick him up from the school run now. I was running out of time just doing that. I'm going to put a new screen. I'm going to put a new back on this. I am going to make this the nicest iPhone 6 out there. What a result. So happy. See you in a little bit. Let's get it back together and stuff, and then I can surprise him. So at the moment this is like a rose gold colour, which isn't ideal because it's kind of pink, isn't it, for a boy. So I got this cover at the back to make it look blue. But the phone I got with this one here has a really nice space grey, which, to be honest, I would quite like this for myself. But let's put it in there. And also the screen here is cracked. It works perfectly, but we've got cracks up here and also cracks down here as well, and that's not on the screen protector. I put a screen protector on to stop it getting worse, but these cracks are actually on the screen. So this phone also came with a screen here. Now I don't know if it works or not, but it looks in good condition and there's no cracks or anything on it. So I think what I'm going to do, and sorry, as well as that, the battery on this phone plays up a little bit. Yeah, you can see because of the water damage and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the motherboard into here, and I'm going to use all the components from here, because the Touch ID never worked on this anyway, because it was a replacement screen and whoever did it mustn't have done the Touch ID part of it. So what I'm going to do is just transfer the motherboard into here, and then he's going to have a nice black and space grey phone, which will look nice, and it means he doesn't have to have this back cover then. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to be fast forwarding through it because there's nothing really entertaining in it. Right, okay, everything is connected up. This one looks to be in a lot better condition than the other one as well. So a lot of the screws and stuff were missing on the other one. Let's see now if it's gonna... I suppose I should turn it on before fully closing it really, shouldn't I? Yeah, there we go. Right, I think let's go for it. Let's close it all up. Just going to get a cloth and clean it. That looks absolutely lovely. Right, let's see now. Is the flashlight going to work? Yes, it is. Look at that. And let's check the camera. So there it is. Look at that. How good is that? And forward facing. Let's give my son a shout. Ben?
Yeah?
I'm filming here. Look at this. What do you think of this phone? Do you recognise it?
Is it mine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Do you want to see the camera? Do you want to see if the camera works? It's on this film. Put it in the thing because I'm just ending up the video. You happy?
Yay!
Look. It works.
Whoa!
Actually, is the volume working? Hold on. Oh no, I've just taken a load of pictures. Let's just double check volume. What would the volume been on? YouTube. YouTube.
It's just my old one.
That's the old screen, yeah. Let's just go to something. Yep, excellent, so that works. And check out the camera. So watch forward facing. There. and normal. And the zoom and pinch and everything works.
Yay.
How good is that? And look, no cracked screen. And it's not pink anymore.
Yay.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
So I took the inside of yours and I put it in another phone. Good boy. So that is it. I'm so happy that I got to the bottom of it, and all because of this tiny little connector. So obviously there must be 1 or 2 pins on this thing here, or maybe, just looking at the underneath, maybe corrosion has got underneath it there. I mean, that could be flux, I haven't given it a clean, but that's what the problem was. And I'm so impressed with myself for actually changing that out, because, I mean, in my opinion, that's proper micro soldering. And considering I just sort of, don't get me wrong, I've been soldering all my life, but just with a big old soldering iron, I've only got into kind of hot air and stuff. My first Fix-It video was 10 months ago, so I'm well happy. For me now, that's major progress, because I didn't dream 10 months ago that I'd be able to change that over. And now it could have been just luck. I could try that again and I might melt it completely. But very, very happy with it. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more how-to videos. So give it a thumbs up. There you go, through the camera. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye now.